So that South Africa are into the Tri-Series final, which will be played against New Zealand on Saturday after a massive victory against Zimbabwe in their third match of the Tri-Series. They've obviously won the first game against Zimbabwe, lost to New Zealand, beat Zimbabwe again today. So this is today's review show. We're going to be discussing it. We're going to be talking about the major talking points that took place in today's match. And that's basically what I'm going to be giving you guys today. As you know, these review shows haven't been that long, and it's mainly because there hasn't really been much that has gone on from a talking point perspective. After I've given you guys the basic review, there isn't much more that I can really go into when it comes to this, because the true tests are against the likes of New Zealand. That's where the true test lies, because it's been pretty simple victories from a South African standpoint against Zimbabwe so far. So it hasn't really been that exciting from a South African standpoint, but it was good to see some great performances in those matches and to see where South Africa are at with the talent pool. So that's why I really enjoyed these matches. That's why I was watching it, because for me, the main thing is to see some of these youngsters perform and see what they can do and what the talent pool is like from a South African standpoint. What does Shukri Conrad and what is Pat Maroney working with when it comes to a squad and building and prepping for that World Cup that we are waiting for? So I'm going to be discussing today's game on today's show. And so get your live chat in so I can also read them out as well. But before we get going, before we get started, there are a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do. First and foremost, subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Smash that like button, comment and share. And don't forget to also comment in the comment section after we've ended the stream. We also have a digital magazine. That's what makes us Cricket Fanatics magazine. It's on, link is on the screen as well as in the description. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. So go and get your copies right away. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's show. Everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host Khalid, and today we will be discussing the Tri-Series clash between South Africa and Zimbabwe. Another dominant display from South Africa's standpoint. I mean, it was pretty simple from a victory perspective. They won the toss. They opted to bowl first again. And we had Zimbabwe pretty much on the ropes. And that's where my criticism comes in, because we had them at 126 for 6. And even before that, 123 for 5, 122 for 4, 44 for 3. And throughout this match, they kind of let things slip away from them, and then they struck again. So every single time Zimbabwe got a little bit of momentum going, South Africa struck. So that was a good thing. But when you have a team on 123 for 5, I want to see ruthlessness. I want to see domination. I want to see them try and almost skittle the team before before they can really put on a decent total. Because in massive matches, like against New Zealand, that happened. We had them on the ropes, and then we allowed them to kind of take the game away from us. We kind of let one player get into a momentum and take the game away from us. And that can be quite frustrating from my standpoint, because that's where games are won and lost. So that's my thing about it, is that I want to see a little bit more ruthlessness, and I want to see more clinicalness with the ball. But there was positives, of course. I mean, Corbin Bosch, I have to admit, was very good today. He got 2 for 16, economy of 4, bowled really well at the back end, bowled the right plans at the end. Him and Nandre Berger, particularly at the back end, were brilliant. Nandre got 1 for 20 with an economy of 5. So that was really good from that perspective. We got to see those players bowl together at the death. That could be a future partnership in the future. We don't know how Coach Shukri is going to line his team up. Ngaba Peter again taking a wicket, but again being really expensive. Economy of 9, 3 overs bowled, 1 for 27. Very good wicket to set up the batter, but other than that, it wasn't Consistency is what I want to see from him, and I'm hoping that he will grow into that, wrist spinner that we need from a South African standpoint. But the major talking points in this match wasn't really the bowling, even though we got Zimbabwe, or restricted Zimbabwe to 144 for 6 in the 20 overs. I must say extras were a little bit better, but a little bit too many still. I don't want to see any extras actually. Maybe one or two, but 8 again. I want to see less than that. It was with the bat though where South Africa really flourished, but it wasn't a great start again from our openers. Luandre Pretorius got 4, Risa Hendricks got 6, but it was the two middle order batters, Rassie van der Dussen and Ruben Herman, that were brilliant today. 106-run partnership of 68 balls. I know SuperSport said 71 balls, but I'm going to go with the Crick Info information rather, and that says 68 balls. And that was the match winning, or the match winning partnership, I would say. Even though Ruben Herman lost his wicket on 63, he put South Africa in a comfortable position so that Dewald Brewers can just come out and smash a quick 13 of 7, 1-4 and 1-6 to help move them closer to the victory or get them over the line. Rassie van der Dussen also was brilliant. But the 63 of 36 balls, absolutely fantastic. That was brilliant from Ruben Herman. I really like to see him in his element today. Strike rate of 175, 4 sixes, 3 fours. Brilliant overall. Great shot selection, aggressiveness at the right times, running between the wickets, all of those type of things. I was very, very happy with the way he performed today, and I'm hoping that we can see a performance like this against New Zealand. We've got now almost like a dummy match in the middle on Tuesday against New Zealand before we face them again in the final. So I'm hoping that we can try a couple of things now, try and maybe and a couple of other players, and before that final, and then take that final seriously. I want to see that us take that final like it's a World Cup final. Go into that match with that type of mentality, because it can only prep you for when you do face a team like New Zealand in a World Cup final. Getting that mentality and processes through and make it become a habit. Those type of rituals and those type of preparations and things that you would do before final, start to do that in major matches when you get the opportunity to do so. We now have the perfect opportunity to be able to prepare for something like this, because it's a final. It might not be a World Cup final, but prepare for it like it is. And I want to see us go into that match with that mentality. Besides, obviously, because now we've got a perfect opportunity to try a couple of things maybe in the Tuesday game. It's almost like it's a gift for South Africa to try and see new players and try different techniques, try different methods, try different mentalities, game plans, all of those type of things. You've got the perfect opportunity for that now in that middle match. So I'm hoping that we do that. But yeah, it was pretty dominant. 145 for 3 we ended up with. We chased down that total pretty easily, 16 balls remaining, and we won by 7 wickets. And Ruben Herman, man of the match for me. Brilliant performance from him. So it's really good to see him get his maiden half century. It'll give him a hell of a lot of confidence. But ultimately, it was a very simple win from a South African standpoint. And it's really good to see that we can that another player has now come through the system, and another player has now put up his hand and shown that he can, almost, I would say, he can almost reward the coach, or he can prove the coach's selection correct ultimately. So let's get into the live chat and see what you guys have had to say. Aryan saying, hi Khalid, miss Imad. Yeah, we all miss him. We cooked them. Who is Imad? It's Bjorn Fortuin. Arjan says, despite his amazing domestic performance, he is not in the contract or in any SA squad, but players like Linda Suranan are being backed, even if their performance is just decent. He can be a deadly spinner for SA. Craig says, Fortuin has had many opportunities. People like Sen and Linda definitely deserve more to show what they can do. They do deserve. I don't want to put players against each other. Bjorn Fortuin deserves to be there, but also I think that George Linda and Senaran and Prenelan all deserve opportunities to play for South Africa. So I'm happy that Coach Shukri is giving them an opportunity or chance to see what they can do. Tex says Linda was unfairly dropped for Fortain before the 2021 T20 World Cup. Linda was Proteas mainstay before that, and Fortain did not perform in any Proteas T20s despite him having many chances. But now Maid is performing better than Sen and Linda, says Arjun. Tex says also Fortain's inability with the bat is also one of the reasons why he doesn't have a contract. He was a walking wicket whenever he batted for the Proteas. Look at Linda, he's a game changer with the bat. And that might be the thinking behind it, having spinners in the team that can bat, because South Africa have many spinners that can bat in South Africa. We've got Senaran, we've got Prinalin, we've got Kyle Simmons, we've got George Linda, we've got so many spinners. Even Brian Parsons, if he works a little bit more on his spinning, to get a little bit more clinical with that. But we've got quite a few spinners that can bat in South Africa. So there's that role in the team is quite competitive. So yeah, that is the case there. Wilbur says, where's our best death overs bowler, Otniel Batman? Is he injured? Where is he? I think he might be injured. I'm not actually sure, but he's the guy that I would like to see still keep his place in the team. Gives us a hell of a lot of depth into the bowling attack. Dex says Bosch is world class in death bowling. I wouldn't say world class quite yet. We haven't seen him do much death bowling. Daim says good to win, but still want to see Brzezinski instead of Riza in T20 eyes. Dex says, yeah, Riza's been terrible form. One good shot and then out. Like it hasn't been that great from Riza's perspective. He's still struggling, and it's a bit of a worry. Peter has a good potential. He needs some good coaching under proper leg spinner. Yeah, that's true. Daim says Ruben should be given a long run. Devot has definitely placed himself as a replacement for Klaasen as a number 5 batter. Devot will be a perfect number 5, I think, for South Africa at the moment. Sam says next series, like players like Brevis. Why is this not coming on the screen, Sam? I don't know. Oh, there we go. Next series, players like Brevis, Landre, Hermann should be back. Please leave Riza Hendricks. It's enough back youngsters now. A lot of players already available. Yes, Udni Barma should be back in the mix. Sam, by the way, I just want to say thank you a lot for that comment that you left on the video of Patrick Maroney. It really was a special comment. It made my day. It was one of the things that really made me happy and made my day. To be able to see that from you, to be able to see that you guys support me in that way is always really nice. It really gives me motivation to continue this and keep going with this. So thanks a lot for that comment. It was a really, really amazing comment from you. NY Times Square says, is it better to rotate a player in 2 games? 1 game is not good enough. What is the situation with Shamsi Khalid? No clue what's happening with Shamsi at the moment, to be honest. Sam says, Khalid, what about new convener for Proteas? How do you rate him? It's going to be an interesting one with Pat Maroney. The thing is, he knows Coach Shukri quite well. And I think that's maybe also the reason why he has been selected as the convener, because of his relationship that he's had in the past with Coach Shukri when he was convener of selectors for SA under 19 as well. There's a video I did with Kwena Mapaka, an interview, where he mentions Pat Maroney. We did it at the Paul when he was playing for Paul Royals. He mentioned Coach Pat's influence in his career and him being like discovered basically. So back then already, Coach Pat and Coach Shukri have a very good relationship. And from that perspective, guys, we wanted that kind of. We all spoke about it on this show where we said, I hope that the convener that comes in doesn't step on Coach Shukri's toes and tries to like undermine him or tries to overrule him and tries to put their own agendas into the mix when it comes to selection. I feel that Coach Shukri has worked with Pat before, and that obviously will help, I think, the situation when it comes to that. So I'm really hoping, and I'm really hoping that is something that will really put South Africa in a strong position when it comes to the selection of the team. Sam says, always welcome, Khalid. You really deserve it, though. Thank you, bro. Dex says, Khalid, do you think the age is catching up with Riza? I don't know if it's the age or what it is, because Riza's always been this type of player, though, guys. It's something that we've always seen with him, where he looks very poor when he's poor, and he looks really great when he's great. And he goes through those periods of clusters, of run scoring, where he scores half centuries on the trot, and then he goes missing for a while. So that's something that I think that he needs to find a way now to improve that. But I mean, at his age, is it possible to even do that now? To Do you just now have to trust him that he's going to perform, and then hope that he does? I don't know, but he's been in very bad form recently, and it's a little bit worrying. Chaos is it over, Samji? Maharaj Malin T20s. No, I don't think so. Um, I think that they've just been. I don't know what's happening with Shamsi, but maybe Maharaj and Miller have just been given some time off because they played all 3 seasons, all because they've been playing a lot of cricket. Um, as you can see, a lot of the IPL guys have been given a rest in this particular series. Aiden Markram's not here, KG's not here, and who else? Muller's not here. But I mean, the youngsters can do it. They can play extra games, but because they haven't really been playing all formats for South Africa necessarily throughout the year I'm talking about. So I think some players have been given a rest as well. In what time, Chris, is any idea when will squad announce for Australia? I have no idea. It will probably be directly after this series that they'll discuss that, guys. Yeah, so I mean, there's not much for me to really get into when it comes to this particular match because we take the little wins that we're getting here, but we also need to be realistic about the situation. Lodrick says if we compile stats of for Riza on X and it shows that he mostly scores his runs in flat pitches, he struggled in SA20 because only a few flat pitches are available. That's a decent point as well. Although he did really well in India. There was a period where he did extremely well in India. In my time, I hope we bat first in the next game. It will be nice to see us bat first in the next game. Let's try something new. If we win the toss, I mean. Try something new, set a massive total against New Zealand, get our batters into into the best form as possible heading into the final. I think that should be the mentality. Sam says, I really excited whom them select for Australia series. Whether star players will be back against them. Marco probably rested since he's recovering. Yeah, Marco is rested because he's recovering. But I'm just happy with the talent pool that we have available to us. That's really exciting me. We have a very nice, very versatile talent pool. It makes me really happy that we've got such a big pool of players where to select from. So that is something that is also very, very important to note. So for the next game, the question will be for the next game whether South Africa go with a completely different 11 or mix it up like they did and play the team that played the New Zealand the last time, like the Geralds in here and the Prenel and Sobrayans in here, etc. Or do we try and pick what Coach Shukri believes is our best 11, get them some momentum, and build towards the final? I don't know what is the right answer to that. But if I was in the situation, like I said, I would prepare for this like it's a final. So I will go into this match with our best 11 because everybody's got an opportunity so far in this particular series. So we can't say that Coach Shukri hasn't given everybody a chance. He has. On the match on Tuesday, I'll pick my best 11. Then there's enough time off till Saturday for the final. So pick your best 11, let them play as a unit together, and then boom, in the final, select that same 11. I think that should be the way forward for this particular series, but we'll see. As long as I can understand the reasons why certain things are happening from a coaching perspective, from a selection perspective, I'm happy as a fan. Lodrick says, I think Riza should bat at 3. Tala says, Khalid, do you think we will be selected for the Aziz tour? can you name 15? Or who do I think will be? I'll name a 15 in one of our preview shows before that. I'll if I do a show before that, maybe at the end of the series, after when we do our review show, let me work on that one because I need some time to think. I can't do it on the spot. I'll create a 15 for our review show after the final of this tri series. Chaos says, why isn't Ferreira given a chance in the series? I don't know. I mean, he hasn't really set the stage alight when he's been given the opportunity so far. So I don't know if it's maybe that. Um, but I'm happy that George Linda has been given an opportunity because he's deserved it. He's truly deserved to play for South Africa, I think. So it's good to see that players like him are getting chances, and we're seeing some brave decisions like Ruben Hermann, Luandre Pretorius, Deva Brevis getting more opportunities, which is really good from a South African standpoint. So currently, I'm pretty happy with the situation where we are at and the pool that we're creating. So let's see what happens for the rest of this tri series. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please smash the like button, comment, and share. And obviously, don't forget to subscribe. Very important, guys. Subscribe. Click that notification bell for all future videos as well so that you get notified on when we go live. Very important that you do so. Also, comment in the comment section after the video has ended. It really helps the channel when you guys comment on my videos, please, guys. So please go ahead, not just in the live chat, also on the actual video after the stream has ended. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again after the next game against New Zealand. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening and your weekend. Peace out.